Hey guys, welcome to my Blender nonsense. We are in a new scene. I set up a new Blender scene. I copied our old mouse, which we are using in the other scene currently, into that to show you that I today discovered what is wrong with this mouse. And what is wrong with this mouse is very, very interesting, because you might think I'm using a mouse since over a decade. And I should really understand at least the basics of a mouse, right? But for some reason, I thought, and I have an explanation for that, I think so. For some reason, I thought I have to put the cable in the back of the mouse, which doesn't make any sense. So it wasn't my intention. You may think, oh, that's because you thought that's cute or something. Well, it is. It's very cute, actually. But no, I didn't realize that. And I think what happened here is that, sometimes when kids draw something, or think of your drawing when you were a kid, you are sometimes working very abstract if you are never approached, or if you're not used to creating stuff, whatever it is. If you're a child, then you have to start with something and you do it how you think it should. So I think it's kind of like that, what happened. It doesn't really matter, it's not something bad, it's just interesting, kinda. And so because of that, I thought, you know what, let's create a new mouse anyways, because it's not that easy. You may think it's easy to create simple structures, and they kind of, yeah. But because when you're still learning, it can be a challenge to create simple stuff. Even though you created seemingly more complicated structures. So that's something to keep in mind if you did something already in Blender and you think, hey, let's create something simple because I should know it. I did something better actually. And if you stumble against the problem that it's not that easy, don't be discouraged. I think that's normal. Anyway, so we're gonna take it easy. We try to be not too detailed, but the mouse I'm aiming for is my first kind of mouse, and that was a mouse between 1999 and 2003. So with a ball, it uses the ball system. You may know what I mean. In the button of that, and we try to aim for that. Not too detailed. It doesn't make sense, because why should I make it so detailed when it's not that visible in the scene anyway, and it's also too much pressure, to be honest. So also this new series I started with my Blender nonsense, I like it, but it feels weird. It feels very weird because it's something new and it's something you create and then you're uploading it. It's a little bit different to the Let's Plays. So I don't know how I do things with that. It's kind of just weird. It's weird. I'm nervous about that a little bit. But okay, whatever. That's sometimes like it is, and maybe it's a good thing. So I have to interrupt today a lot, so there will be a lot of mini interruptions. Also, I'm waiting for a package. I get a new chair, a pretty cheap one, but still a new chair from Amazon, and I love packages. I love them. I would like to explain things, but the problem is I'm not that good that I can do it well. I try, but if I skip certain stuff, it's not a tutorial. So be aware of that. Good. I set up a new scene. I can tell you one thing for sure. Oh, that's good. I checked that. So when you start a new scene, and Blender comes, you have to do certain steps, and that's very important. Let's start with that. So first of all, we activate bloom, which is important for. May show you this, guys. So let's say this becomes an emission surface. This is like a glowing thing. Let's make it like, yeah, that looks funny, right? So it's always good when stuff doesn't look too boring. I think that's very important. I think. So this is bloom in Eve. It doesn't work in circle. It's different. I think circle is not supporting that. I think so. You see, it's just like a light source or something like that. Anyway, we activate bloom because in Eve it's very important, and this thing is screen space reflection. Whatever it says, I'm activating it, and then we have reflections. That's good because it does what it says. It refractions. Well, see, I didn't even realize. I mean, I kind of did. It's different, but to me, it's reflecting stuff. Anyway, there is also an option in Blender. You can set up Blender so that when you start a new scene, it always starts with you pre-set up Blender settings. It's possible. I'm not doing it because simply when I do this from time to time, I don't know what that is good for. Ambient occlusion. It's always also important. I don't know for what exactly. It helps me to remember what's important, kinda. No, not kinda, it helps me. Anyway, so let's focus on the mouse. I would say render samples. So on this we should change 300. That's how noisy the picture will become if you run it in circle, I believe so. And then we have denoising. Denoises the noise, if you want. I'm explaining it in my own words. I like this one, but I'm not sure if it's any good. But it also takes away a lot of details in the final render. So you have to be careful with the denoising part. Could look different as you may expect, but anyway, this is not really a problem. Just want to check out this one here. No, I think it looks good. Okie dokie, now let's start creating the mouse. Not in this menu, we are gonna go in here and there, and it's a little bit too glowing for a normal mouse from 1919. Yeah, that's that's how the mouses were back then. Radioactive. Wait a second, like this one here. So anyway, no, let's use a normal texture, a normal thing. Let's make it gray because this is how the mouses is plural. The mouses looked then back then looked like that. Very boring, but anyway. So now it's tricky. I have to kind of shut up a little bit because otherwise I'm not doing what I should do. So we want to aim for a round looking mouse. We're going to activate the subdivision surface modifier, set it to 3, this one also to 3, and then we say smooth because I really like how it looks. And now it's going to be interesting. Let's make a save, and just in case, I always kind of do that, make a copy of the thing. So let's see, we focus first on the basic shape. I looked up some pictures on Google. I googled the old mouse. I couldn't really find a satisfying picture of those old mouses, since they always not from every angle, so that's a problem. But at the same time I thought, well, okay, come on, that's somehow we can do it. I mean, it doesn't have what have I done? What the heck is that? I somehow, oh no, what have I done? I changed the layout and I don't know how. Well, can I undo that? Press any shortkey. It's very interesting actually. It's a very good shortkey for making it look like that. But hell, I have no idea which shortkey I used. You know what? Let's ignore that for now. We're gonna delete this scene and create a new one. Layout. This can help you as well if you don't know what the heck you've done. Then just can I not drag and drop that? Cannot. Oh boy, guys. Okay, you know what? We don't need animation. We don't need rendering. We don't need, because this we always do with the shortkey. composing we don't need, and scripting we sure don't need that yet. So anyway, as you see, I just created a new layout because I kind of pressed something, I do not know what. Okay, where was I? Hiding this one, and yeah, so we make a copy of that. Just, you know, if something goes wrong, I can always go and grab this thing and then, you know, I like doing it. It's helpful if you are, when you do new stuff, very helpful. So this looks good. Let's try to experiment with that a little bit. So this is interesting. This could be very interesting. This could be very interesting. Could we? I wonder. You could work with that. So what I basically did is just, there were two kind of subdivision surface modifier. The first one is just, you know, making everything as round as possible. And the second one is kind of making only the edges, I believe, round as possible. And that is why it's still looking like the cube, like the original shape. This is the original shape. Wait a second. Because it's soft, yeah, okay. Only with the round edges, kinda. So that's the simple version of the subdivision modifier. This is round, this is edges round. So, and when we say this is round, no, this is simple round, and then we add another one, then, well, I do not know what actually happens, but it makes it look better. What can I say? That's what happens. That is exactly what happens, and I kind of like this thing. Maybe we can work with that. I never did this before. Let's see. We have those. Okay, that's interesting. So let's save it here, and then let's see what happens if we. Oh, we can maybe it makes sense. With that, you can create probably a very good old-looking mouse. But how could we make it now? Interesting. Let's try something new. And that's how I work sometimes. And this is, I wanna do it in here as well, because if I just simply try to focus on what I know already, I'm not learning new stuff. And learning new stuff is by experimenting, like making nonsense and do something you've never done before, and you may screw up something, but you may learn something new. Anyway, but I think it's interesting, but we are focusing on the round thing. I tell you why, because that's how I think it looked like. So this one again, if you want to go one step older, then this is not too bad. Then this is probably what we should use. But my mouse already was a little bit rounder. Maybe not too round. Let me just check the pictures again. Problem with the pictures is I really don't want to show you them, because I just googled some old mouse pictures. Problem with that is in Germany as well. Anyway, I remember there were a lot of, you know, if you don't own the picture, the rights of using the pictures, you can be screwed just by using a simple picture, which is a shame, which is dumb, which doesn't make any sense. It's old school. It's old school politics behaving very slow, or well, you are in trouble for literally no reason. So I'm not gonna show any pictures as good as I can, because I don't know how, you know, if I'm gonna be screwed because of that. So let's see. Now the back is okay, but maybe we need to, let me check something. Maybe we need to do that. Maybe not. Here for sure. Let me just check this one here. Oh, that's not too bad. That was a good thing. and see if you do something without a plan. Again, it's very important to look up certain stuff, but it's also very important to try it on your own as well. And that's what I would recommend, but that's really depending on which kind of person you are. If you are a person who likes to work with a plan, forget about what I do. But if you want to just, like me, a little bit of, if you're a little bit like a child who's just creating something and having fun with that, then I would recommend, if you want to create something new, then try it first, see how far you come, and every time you stuck, you're gonna look up and then try to try to find what the solution, what you're looking for, and then you continue working until you stuck again. And every time you think, I want to do something, I don't know how, look it up. Don't try to look it up and then to remember it. If you're a person like me, that makes you crazy. No way you can do that. I understand the problem here. We want to make it a little bit more like this one here. So that's good, because you may think it looks better in the final render. It's a waste to do it in here, because we will not see that anyways. But this looks better, right? This looks a lot better. Yeah, but a little bit too thin. Does it look too thin, guys? Yeah, it looks definitely too thin. Back in 1999, we had great music. And thick cables, because we needed thick cables to transport the great music through the electricity. Well, what can I say? Make it like this one here, and that one. And yeah, today, because I said I like listening to music, and from time to time I will create something and then later on show you what I've did, because that's an important thing to me, listen to music and creating stuff. However, I can't use music right now anyways, because I wait for the package, right? So, and if I wait for the package, then I'm gonna be screwed if I'm that's not. See, wait a second. Maybe, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I see. Well, let's use this thing here. That's also irritating at first. You approach the X-ray modeling stuff very slow. That's what I would recommend. Don't freak out on that. It looks weird, but it's not. Nothing is really that complicated. If you're interested, you're getting it. I promise you that. Always like that. You can learn everything. You have to be interested. Then you can learn everything you want. So I'm making. How does it look? At least looks better. There's also you can create. Okay, guys, hold on. And here we go. Didn't save it, so let's do the whole nonsense again. Like this one here. No. Yeah, usually it doesn't happen too often, but I usually don't record, so this might be affecting Blender as well. Like I said, I'm not very disappointed with Blender, like at all. I think Blender is so great in doing what it's supposed to do. I think this is already efficient. We don't need to have to go into that too deep. So, and as usual, I have a lot open in the background. Wow, boy, today, let me just say that, guys, I was I was happy when I get comments, and in the last time I get comments, like fake comments. This happens from time to time. It's not a big deal actually, but I made a video on this because I thought if I'm going to delete comments, I just wanted to make a video so that people, well, you know, that you know why I would do it when I delete comments. But it's only when something is fishy. So if there are some weird comments with a link. You know, sometimes you get weird comments and you have a link below, a timestamp link, which people like to do, so they hope that you accidentally click on the other link. Those kind of comments I'm deleting because they are fishy. But I got 4 comments on the other Blender video, like looking like a soft porno channel now, who are advertising for their own porno stuff, you know. I mean, okay, but there is no shady link coming with that. It's only, you know, the soft porno in the YouTube nonsense. So and well, I think I'm leaving it like that because there's no shady link. The only reason I may delete it because when it really starts to look like like a mess. But yeah, it's that's not too bad actually. That's not a huge deal, but weird. And also had to do maybe with the time I release videos. That could be a thing. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Let's just do this one here so that I can see that. Hey, it doesn't look too bad, right? So let's see what we could do. Could we do that? How does this look? Not too good. First of all, before we screw up something, let's pick it up, make another one. And now it's a little bit tricky. I have to think, and I have to scratch, and I have to drink. Okay. Oh, you know what? More coffee. Okie dokie. So, yeah, I really love the pause button in the open broadcast software. There are 2 ways you can cut out things. First of all, by in videos, when you record videos, the first thing is editing it afterwards, which is work, or just creating a shortcut key for pausing the recording with open broadcast software. It works extremely well, I have to say, extremely well. Very happy. It also gives me the freedom to record stuff like this because I can always, if somebody calls me, pause and then continue. So let me just see what we're gonna do with that now. Maybe we can. Would that make sense? How does this look? A bit hard to see. I make it a little bit. It sometimes helps. Look at that. Let me try to analyze this. We're gonna go. We may have to apply the modifier. I'll tell you why. Because the modifier, if we want to make a hole here, we also changing the shape here on the side, and I wonder how to change the shape of the side without affecting the other stuff. Could be tricky. Well, let's try something different. We're gonna copy this guy here, and then hiding it, and then this guy we're gonna delete. Face. Okay, unhide it. So, and then we separate this guy here. Separate is also very important. If you want to separate something, yeah, in the edit mode, then we can go to mesh, and then we say separate by selection. So now, if you go into the object mode, this has become a different part. But the good thing is you see it's perfectly connected to the other thing. But how does this help us? I know how. We can now apply this. No, I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not too bad, but I just... Okay, wait, we're making it different. We are gonna What the heck is that? What have I done? What have I done? Why is this thing here? Eh? Am I completely crazy? I don't know. We can just ignore that. See, that's why I like having backups. Sometimes you are confusing yourself, and it's maybe you find the solution. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it takes you forever. But let's just do that. I like the darker versions though, so let's make that look a little bit better. Okay, we're gonna do something different. We say we're gonna copy it. Is this what we're gonna do? Yes, we're gonna copy that and paste it inside that. Then we're gonna apply this modifier. I'm not sure if this is working like I want to. So this, oh boy, I'm getting crazy here. Unhide everything. So let's see. This one is applied. Okay. Then let me just delete it. I'm getting confused. Okay, hold on. Hold. No. That's like this one and this one. Okay, so now, yeah, looks good. So now we're gonna apply this one here, and because we applied it, you see it looks different, but I forgot something very important. Okay, so we selected this first, and now we apply that like this. Because we selected it first, we have selected only this area. This is the area we are looking for. We're gonna say invert, delete other faces. Now we have this area, which is pretty neat. Which is pretty neat. Look at me. Every time I say something new in the English language, for my vocabulary, I'm happy. And I realize that sometimes, not all the time. So we're gonna get this one here back, like that. So now we have one without applied subdivision surface modifier. And I wonder, could we? Yeah, if we do that, that's a problem. And we have one with it. Is this making sense? Does this make sense? I mean, it's cool that we have on the one hand that, but does it really help us? I think we have to apply it. It makes it easier. I think it's okay that we did this, but there is no advantage to that right now. So let's just delete that and say we need the whole thing applied to that, unfortunately. Because I really don't know how we could change, or could we? What happens is I subdivide it and subdivide it again. Yeah, this one happens. Okay, I see. Well, because the problem is you can't be accurate right now. It always, if I want to delete this face to work, the shape changes. This is not the shape we're looking for. This is the shape we want to have. But if we go deeper, we always kind of changing the shape. So, and no, I think we are good. I think we are good. But before we do that, let's just check. Before we apply that, let's just check how satisfied we are with the background. I think we can make this one here a little bit brighter. Or is it? I do not know. I don't think so. Maybe it's even smaller. Maybe, but not that much. Yeah, maybe. Oh, wait. This one goes down. Again, we're not aiming for 100% accuracy. That's not what we were gonna want. But at least, no, a little bit, let's say that. Okay, so good, another copy. So if this starts to become a little bit annoying, we can put it a little bit away or even hide that. We don't need that actually. This we don't need as well. So Good. Let me just unhide it. I need to see, is this the same thing? I don't know, so let's... yeah. Okay. We can make this later a little bit, you know, we can make it nicer looking, the cable, but for now it's fine. But what we should do, oh yeah, we should do this right now. Let's apply, no, we're gonna hide those stuff. We're not deleting it, it's hiding, it's different, because we really need to make sure that we give this one, the cable thing, and this one as well. This is, let's call this, this one becomes a new material, and we're gonna call it, you can change this in here, the name, but it doesn't really work. Or let's see, isn't that weird? You can say object name and it doesn't matter at all, I do not know. But if you change the name in here, it works. So this we could call cable hull. Is this a word? Let me test this. Cable hull, is this an English word, or did I just made up a word? Cable hull is Spanish?
Casco de cable.
Well, now here we go.
Kabelrumpf.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, we're gonna call it like that. Are we gonna name it like that? We're gonna name that like this and give it a slightly darker. Okay, this is 11, so let's say assign. Why is this not affected? That's interesting. I think I know why. Do I? No, I don't know. I know why, I guess so. Okay, I know how to solve this problem. We just select other things, but that they are not in the way. Everything which is hidden is not affected anymore if you change or if you want to select stuff. Makes sense, right? But just saying it. A lot of, I mean, Blender is making a lot of sense. That's what I like working with it. But it, at first, if you can change so many things, everything looks extremely complicated. And that's, you know, you have to think about, is it really complicated or is it just a lot to remember? And I think it's just a lot to remember. That's what it is. That's what it is. So we have to, you know what? Let's assign this one here. Ah yeah, now it looks good. And this one is the cable itself. So this becomes, let's give it an old material first. Okay, this looks very good. Hey, look at that. Crazy, huh? And now this one here and this. Now we can. The reason I need to do it right now is as soon as it's not too complicated, because if we apply the subdivision modifier, we get instantly a lot of different surfaces and areas and so on. And that overall overcomplicates things. So if we do this right now, approximately, then we have already selected. Wait. Cable. So we can make this a little bit more shiny, more plastic looking, like a little bit yellow, because I was a smoker back then. I'm not smoking anymore, but it made everything just look bad. So we're gonna also make it like that a little bit. I forgot about that. Hold on. And we are not in the right menu. Yeah. And plastic, right? So that's good. That's very good. I'm very happy right now. Also, the problem what I also don't want to sometimes not record is if you don't know what you're aiming for, it could take a long time until something comes out of that. and it can also look a long time like crap. Also, when you draw something, if you like drawing and you always tried and you always think you failed, that's because you gave up. You should stick to something, even if it looks like crap. A picture, if you draw on that, don't throw it away. Keep drawing, even you think it's crap, because it'll become better. But that's what makes me crazy. I'm not I wouldn't become probably a good artist, because you have to practice more drawing, and I'm really busy with Blender and so on. But I could do something decent enough, I guess, only by keep doing it. So how does it look? Good enough here. I wonder, that looks a little bit, I wonder if I could do something about that. Let's see what that does. Oh, I have an idea. Just another idea. Also, I wonder if we apply the thing, do we need to apply the cable as well? Okay, it doesn't matter, we're gonna stick on this, and let's work with the idea I had. Like this one. Can't express right now what I try to do. Not because it's very complicated, it's just very complicated for me to express that right now. But I liked it actually, look at that. I love it. Funny. You want to select the outside of the outside rim all at once. You have to hold Shift, Alt, and left click, and then you select the whole thing. It's very powerful. Short keys are very powerful. From time to time, look at them. But I discovered that it took a long time until I was ready for that. So, you know, don't make everything like you think it's the right thing. And make a lot of backups. Make a hell lot of backups. You need, hold on, I'm in the German language, so sometimes I want to do the undo step, and then I'm just simply in the wrong language nonsense. Yeah, I mean, about those cable thick thing. That sounded weird because in the German cable thick hold on thing in the German, I'm gonna press this to you because it's very funny. Is this cable thick thing? Yeah, that sounds really sexual. Anyway, that's what it is. A sign we have to press. How does it look actually? Oh, not too bad. Don't know what is this. In the German, ficken is fucking, you know, and that's why it sounded so funny to me, because you know, you never grow out of this age when words like this is funny to you. If you say it's not funny, I'm not, you know, I'm too old for this nonsense. And I also did this sometimes. I also thought I'm too old, but it's, well, you're kind of suppressing your being silliness, you know. Of course, it's not the funniest thing in the world, but it's funny. It's definitely funny. And so don't suppress this too hard. I would recommend, you know, being funny. There's nothing wrong with that, because we are all kind of still child. I don't think there is no such a thing like being a grown-up. I think we all learn how to behave like grown-ups, kind of. But are we really grow up? No, I feel still jealous. I have the same feelings. I have a little bit better under control, but only slightly, a little bit. So I'm not so sure. You know what? I think we could actually... I think we would confuse us if we... How do I do that? How do I do that? Maybe we should split that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's make two parts. Otherwise, we're getting so many polygons. Doesn't make sense. Okay, first of all, this one here would be copied and put here. It's also good to make sometimes, you know, completely new scenes. Let's call this mouse 1, and then we're gonna mouse 2. But I feel pretty comfortable that the file will not be corrupted right now, and the mouse creating it, it's nothing. Well, it's not that big of a deal, right? I mean, we could, if we lose this file, we're just gonna create a new one. So what we're gonna do now is we selected only this one and say this one shall be separated, shall become his own object. And wait a second, something was weird. I thought we have... Yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe something is losing the selections. So what have we done? Let's see, let's unhide here everything. And now let's hide this one and see. Here we go. That's a problem. What the heck is that? What the heck? I made a mistake. I made a mistake. You know what? I made it too complicated. That's the problem. We should keep it simple for now. We can work on those details a little bit later. So I would try to undo the thing as fast as much as I can. And let's see, how can we get this thing here done? Is this still one piece? Yeah. Just see, that's a little bit too over the top. I overdid this. So now I think it's easier to use a copy, but I think this one is the same thing. Let's see what is close enough to the same thing. This one here, but it doesn't have the okay, you know what, let's try this with that. Okay, anyway, that's what happens. There's nothing we can do much about that. Sometimes you screw up things and then you need to get rid of that. Okay, let's do this again. So we're gonna hide this, hide this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So save the game. Save the Blender file. I sometimes say save the game. That's obviously because of the gameplays. Of the gameplays. So this one we hide. This one we hide. This one. This one we hide, and this one we hide too. So I think we can get rid of this one. You know, but even if you screw up certain things, it's also a practice. It's always a practice. It's always gonna be a practice. Weird. I don't even know what it is. So let's see. What have I done? Let's get rid of this one here. Uh-huh. 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 Bum 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 bum. I think that's easier. That's easier. Yeah, you know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna use. We make it again, but with this model. That is okay because it's simply. It's easier. It's really easier. In terms of, it's easier for me right now because my brain cannot figure out where the heck I made a mistake. So there might be an easier solution to that, but because I can't think of it right now, I'm gonna go with what I can imagine. And so what we have to do, I know what we have to do. It's pretty simple actually. It's pretty simple. Yeah, that's good. We are making a cut. We're gonna cut this thing. Here. Let's hide this here. Yeah, I forgot this, that we should look at this like that. So, okay, we need to separate it, but we need to separate it like here. You don't really have to do that. Wait a second. Just wait a second. Oh, that's interesting. I don't even know. How does this look? It is already separated. Ah, well, that's good to know. Very good to know. So we can separate this because it is already separated. I don't know when I did this, but it doesn't matter. I did it. Separate by selections. So, well, great. Awesome. This is perfect. This is perfect because now if we apply this modifier here, I'm going to show you this. Apply. Then you see it's like looking at this, but this is still the same. So let's go back. We don't apply right now. So you see? Okay, what we should do is, maybe this helps me often when I have multiple pieces. We're gonna make an empty to connect everything to the empty. We could connect this one to that one, but that could be sometimes a problem if you don't want to do that. Although in this case it would make sense even. Yeah, we should do, okay, forget about that. In this case we're gonna apply this to, we're gonna connect this to that. That basically means if we connected this in the way, like we said object keep transform, that means keep transform. If we change the shape of it, we also changing the other thing, which is basically not the same part anymore. See, still connected in this way. In this thing, it shares the properties of the shape, I believe, and that's awesome right now. So again, as you saw, you make a lot of mistakes. You make a lot of mistakes. I never do. No, we all do make a lot of mistakes, and for that it's always good to, oh, made a mistake, see? We need, oh boy, what have I done? Ah, that's, oh no, it's not a problem. Let me check something. No, it is a problem. Oops, what the heck am I doing here? Okay, now we got it. So I really don't want to apply that. So first of all, this becomes a backup. And is this still connected? Now we have to connect it again. And oh, and that's also simple. If you connect this to that, then this is like this. Then this then this is changing the shape. This one not. We can change this shape without changing this one, because this is connected to that. If you do it vice versa, then it's vice versa. So, okay, let's see, is it still connected? Good. Then let's make a backup of this little guy here. And what is that? That's fine. See, and already we are already almost an hour in the Blender. And yeah, I'm gonna take a break soon, because that you have to do. Okay, we made it the backup, right? And that's good. So yeah, let's make a quick break, and I'm also gonna, yeah, let's make a quick break. Okie dokie, guys. So I think we're gonna make like a 1 hour, and then we are gonna split this in you know, the next part or something. Still try to figure out how to well, you know, how to do everything. I think that's also something you're never gonna think about, how to do stuff. So okay, we did this one here. Is the backup great? Then I would say let me, no, this is a huge step. Wait a second. Okay, as you can see, it's now called mouse 2, so I made a new Blender file, which is great, so we don't have to have this guys here. And now we can apply, because if something goes wrong now, we have a different Blender file which we could go back. It's also very helpful. We are applying this modifier, and now it's looking like that. Oh no, we should, oh no, I made it. Let's make, before we do that, because that's too much work afterwards. This one, we're gonna give a material that'll help us. Say this one is the sign mouse. Yeah, I think mouse. This correct mouse. Front. Top. I never really, if I wouldn't recall, I'm not sure if I would give it the names or something. I'm not so with, I do not know, it's boring, super boring, but helpful, I guess. It helps us to it's my way right now to make, you know, this one is mouse side left. New material. We can actually give it the same material, 15, and then we say this one becomes mouse side. So if we select that, nothing happens because we didn't assign it. But if we select this now, it's this area. That's good. If you select this one, then it's this area. That's good. Then we need mouse back and mouse front. Let's do this quickly. You can also do this with the, you know, you can group vertices and so on. I like it with the color better. It's right now, at least. Maybe this changes when I realize it's nonsense. This is mouse sign. Mouse back, and then we need mouse front. It helps us afterwards with the, helps us already actually. Select. Oh, mouse button we forgot. See this one here. Mouse bottom. How is this correct? Mouse bottom. Oh yeah, makes sense. Good. I know it's not written like that, but you know, that's my kind of weird system, how I work, how I function. When I say how I work, I mean, how I function, how I work as a person, how I do things. Yep. Deselect. Ah. Just checking everything. This is back, yeah. Then side, yeah. Top. Up front. Yeah, and then we need just mouse top. We can do this quickly and then that. And now we're changing mouse top. Just mouse top, that's fine. Top. We have to assign it, right? So let's see. Good. Okay, it's this one. Oh yeah. So I would say let's select this one here. Oh, I think that's already good. Let's see. Oh, that's perfect. I'm happy. We don't have to do this anymore because we did this already. That's mouse front. So, okay, that can be a little bit, maybe it was done. Maybe this might be really better when we do this with, well, when we should really try to do it with, where is it actually? Vertex groups or something like that. I think you can do something similar. See how this works. Never done this before, like zeros. I've seen it, but I've never done it before. Select. So let's see. We would go into this menu, and then we could say plus group, and this we would call mouse side, like we did already. So assign. Let's see. What the heck? That's weird. Assign. It kind of selects everything except the front, and I have no idea why. I have no idea why. Okay, let's make it like manually. This is the side, and let's say new group, assign. Oh, it selects everything. Oh, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? I have no idea why. Ah, I changed, I see, I changed the object name. Ethernet. Okay, well, this is a group. Well, let's try something. This is the group assign. Maybe we can make, maybe we have to do it like that. Group 1. Select, okay. Group 2. Select. I have no idea how this works. Kind of selects everything in certain areas. Maybe it's because of the vertex system. Maybe we can tell them what to select. This is a vertex group select. So vertexes are those guys here. That makes sense. Or does it? It doesn't make sense. I'm not getting it. Interesting. Well, screw that for now. It doesn't matter. That's something interesting we should maybe look up someday. But right now I'm too bored. It's too boring. Too boring to figure it out. Makes sense maybe, but let's stick to that first. At a certain point we're gonna get this as well. So we did this one here. That's good because now we have to really make a backup because I don't want to do this again. And now it's funny. We apply it to, no, it's 60 minutes. We continue on the next part.